Am I the asshole for finally talking to my brother's girlfriend? Should I apologize? 24F. Live at home with my parents as does my brother Harry, 21. We both attend university in our city. Harry has been dating his girlfriend Isabel, 19, for about 2 years. She is usually pretty nice, and has a generally somewhat anxious demeanor. I haven't been able to fully get along with her, just because of one issue. Now for some context. I work early morning shifts, 6 a.m. 2 p.m., so that I can attend university in the afternoon. For this reason I have a pretty strict bedtime. I have a lot of trouble falling asleep, but once I'm asleep it takes a lot to wake me up. I am a person who sleep talks coherently with my eyes fully open to other people, but still entirely unconscious. I am a heavy sleeper. This is important context. Isabel often sleeps over on weeknights, and mine and Harry's rooms share a wall. For the past 2 years, she has consistently screamed Harry's name over and over late at night, 11 p.m. onwards. She will do it randomly. Harry says he is tickling her. I have spoken to Harry and my parents about it on multiple occasions because it often keeps me up and sometimes even wakes me. Harry says he'll talk to her and it never stops. I've said that at some point I will have to address it directly with her. Well, this morning I worked at 6 a.m., as per usual. I woke up at 3 a.m., however, to Isabel screaming. I wanted to bust in there and chew them both out then and there. But I didn't, because I knew nothing good could come of that. So I waited until after I got home from work, so that I had calmed down and could address it nicely. I knocked on Harry's door and said, "Hey guys, I have a small bone to pick with you." In, pretty much, my customer service tone, I continued. "Last night you guys woke me up at 3 a.m. The screaming at night has to stop. Everyone else is sleeping or trying to sleep and there is no reason for it." Harry gave me a face, and Isabel said nothing, so I just turned and walked away. As soon as Isabel left, all hell broke loose. Harry accused me of screaming at Isabel and being incredibly rude to her. He says she may never come back here. Dramatic. My parents agree that at some point I had to talk to her about it, but think I should just apologize to Isabel to clear this whole situation up. Harry is livid and insists I had no right to speak to her about it at all. So Reddit, am I the asshole? Should I apologize? Not the asshole. You tried to get Harry to address it, and he didn't. There's nothing wrong with you addressing something that is interrupting your sleep. If Harry wants his girlfriend to continue screaming his name while he tickles her, they can go elsewhere. Don't apologize, you did nothing wrong. If Harry keeps on with the "you had no right" business, just tell him, "If you had addressed it when I asked you to, I wouldn't have had to say anything." Not the asshole. And don't apologize. If you apologize you're basically agreeing that you were in the wrong. Harry and Isabel are acting incredibly rude and immature. Knowingly being loud in the middle of the night when people are sleeping is grounds to sending Isabel home. Would Harry rather have that or your yelling? Not the asshole. Why was he going to talk to her about not screaming while he tickles her? Just stop fricking tickling her at 3 a.m. in your parents' house, Harry. Not the asshole, though I don't think she is screaming because your brother is tickling her. So I believe because you spoke to her directly about her screaming she's probably actually embarrassed for being heard. But I wonder if your brother actually spoke to her about the screaming? Also, I wouldn't apologize. You have nothing to be sorry for. Harry should be apologizing to you. Not the asshole. Next time this happens, start screaming, "Oh yeah, Harry, give it to her, tickle her hard, you're the best tickler," etc. Make it extremely uncomfortable. Not the asshole. First off, you weren't shouting at Harry's girlfriend, you were telling her in the nicest way possible to be more quiet with whatever they were doing. I don't see why your family is so angry when you're the one working from 6 a.m. 2 p.m. and going to uni after. I could never. In my opinion I would move out. If they keep bothering you, just move out because your parents have already made up their minds on which side they're on, so if you want sleep you're going to have to move. Am I the asshole coffee spill at the continental breakfast? Am I the asshole at the Disney hotel and was making coffee? The cup spilled out of my hand as I was putting the lid on. It splattered all over the floor, myself, and it also lightly splattered on a person behind me. She kept saying I wasn't taking responsibility for spilling on her. The first thing I said was I'm sorry and immediately started cleaning up the coffee on the floor so no one slipped. She was complaining of it being a new shirt and her day was ruined. I just kept saying I was sorry as I'm on the ground wiping up coffee. She demanded I take responsibility and buy her a new shirt and Tide pen. Because it wouldn't come off with a napkin. She continued to loudly say you're not going to take responsibility for this. I told her it was an accident and I didn't intentionally throw coffee on her. I walked out after I cleaned the floor off and went to Disney with my 9-month-old, 5, and 7-year-old. I'm having trouble believing that none of the hotel employees intervened to clean the spill. I am not a Disney fan, but they are known for extraordinary customer service. She was making a big deal of it in the hopes that Disney staff would notice and give her a gift card to get a free t-shirt. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. She demanded I take responsibility and buy her a new shirt and Tide pen. Because it wouldn't come off with a napkin. When did an accident become, buy me a new one? Is she likely to be wearing something that can't be put in a washer on a vacation? I suppose you could have offered to pay for dry cleaning, but I'm really eye-roll FFS on this one. AITA missed word. If she was close enough to get some of it on her, then she is the asshole not giving you personal space. Info. The cup spilled out of my hand as I was putting the lid on. Were you holding this full cup of coffee in the air while trying to put the lid on? Or did you have your hand around the cup to steady it as it was sitting on a solid surface and you attempted to put the lid on? Not the asshole. It's absurd to claim you owe her a new shirt when her only attempt to clean it was to wipe it with a napkin. Is this her first day on Earth? Coffee comes out easily with water and soap. Maybe you could have been more helpful by suggesting that solution, but it doesn't sound like she was being reasonable. Am I the asshole for defending my husband's stair-sitting habits? My parents came over to visit me and my husband at our mid-sized house. They're great most of the time, but my mother is a bit of a perfectionist, or narcissist. I don't know how to explain it, but she always tries to pick at something, no matter how minute or inconsequential, so she can show her superiority. Anyway, my husband has this quirk where he likes to hang out on the stairs. Sometimes he's on the landing, sometimes the top, sometimes the bottom. He'll sit, lie down, or even drape himself in weird positions. He's not hurting anyone, it's just him. It's his way of chilling, and honestly, I find it endearing. My mother was not a fan. She kept giving him side eyes and finally said something like, "Why is he sitting there? He's not a child. He can sit in the living room like an adult." I shrugged and told her, "It's our house. He can sit however and wherever he wants." That set her off. She started going on about how it's weird, and not proper, and how it's embarrassing that he acts like this. I didn't budge. I wasn't about to tell my husband where he can or can't sit in his own home. Things escalated, and eventually, she stormed out in a full-on hissy fit, saying she wouldn't be a part of this nonsense. She took the car and went to a hotel in town, leaving my dad behind. The thing is, she has no reason to go upstairs, so it's not like my husband was disrupting her. He was just using his phone. Sometimes he reads books on the stairs too, but not this weekend. The only things upstairs are my husband's office, our room, and a small half-bathroom. A half-bathroom is a bathroom without any bathing utilities, just a sink and toilet. My dad and I had a great night catching up. He didn't care one bit about the stair thing, and just laughed it off. Now I'm left wondering if I was too harsh on my mom. I know she can be dramatic, but maybe I should have tried to smooth things over instead of digging my heels in. I get it's not traditional, I can't find the right word, correct, professional, formal? But he's my family too, and it's our house. He can do whatever he likes. Not the asshole. The only thing I can conclude from your story is that your mom really does find things to pick at so that she can obtain compliance and master the situation. So she found a thing to pick at, and she tried, and she failed, and it was a big shock, very uncomfortable, so she freaked out. It's 100% her fault. I would go forward as if nothing happened and let her bring it up if she must. Otherwise just ignore, as if she was a kid who had some strange tantrum and now it's done. Not the asshole. I think you handled it perfectly. And I think this needs to happen more often. Every time she picks at something kicking up a stink, the response should be a calm, "This is how we do things," and let her leave. Don't chase after her, just carry on enjoying whatever is going on. Then when she comes back, don't make a big deal of it. Like nothing happened, no acknowledgement of her return and definitely no apologies. A narcissist doesn't like not being the center of everything, so if you stop buying into her drama, maybe she'll learn to behave. And if not, you get a few hours of peace while she sulks. Not the asshole. A small half-bathroom. A half-bathroom is a bathroom without any bathing utilities, just a sink and shower. But that's not what a half-bathroom is, though. Half-bath is sink and toilet. No shower. Not the asshole. It's super normal for kids of parents who do things like this to feel the need to smooth things over. Anxiety response: fight, flight, freeze, also fawn. Fawn, make things better, resolve the conflict, manage the parent's emotions. You aren't and never were responsible for the emotions of your parent. Her emotions are 100% hers to feel and to manage. She overreacted. Not the asshole. This was a power play and you just proved you had the bigger unit and wasn't going to back down to her foolishness. Well done. Not the asshole. His house, he can drape himself over any part of it however he wants, including sleeping on the floor if he wants. Your house, your rules. Mom doesn't like it, well then she is free to leave. Am I the asshole? Husband spilled water in our only can of formula. I feel like I'm going insane here, so I just need an outside opinion on this. My 30 female husband, 33 male, spilled water in our only can of formula that we have right now and didn't tell me. I found out when I opened the can over an hour later and there was a bunch of goopy, mud-like formula inside. He didn't flood the can, but it wasn't just a few drops of water either. When I found out and went to tell him that I needed to go get a new can because the old can is essentially no longer safe to use, he got angry and said that was stupid and we could just still use the parts of the can that are still dry. I reiterated that I didn't think the can was safe any longer and he said again that that was stupid and that I'm just going to waste a bunch of money for no reason. Am I the asshole for thinking the can needs replaced? I hope that makes sense. He's not the asshole for making a mistake, mistakes happen. He's an asshole for trying to risk your child's health just so he doesn't have to deal with the emotions he's having about having made a mistake. He needs to learn some emotional regulation before he passes on that incapability to your children. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, you're right, it could have grown mold or gone bad. In any other situation I would say it's no big deal, but this is for your baby. You're absolutely correct for not wanting to take chances. I can excuse him for making the mistake, but he's the asshole not only for not bothering to tell you but getting angry at you and making out like you're the problem and are being dramatic. The formula is trash. A new can needs to be bought. You're 100% correct. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. It seems like it was an honest mistake by your husband, which would not make him the but calling you stupid for having a reasonable concern about your baby's primary source of nutrition makes him the major He's a mega asshole for not immediately replacing this and or telling you when this happened. Babies need to eat when they need to eat. This is so annoying and irresponsible. There's probably a number on the can where you can call and speak to someone at the manufacturers who can tell you if the product is still safe if you describe the situation.